When people talk about burnout at sea, they often think about physical exhaustion, long hours, heavy workload, lack of sleep, but burnout usually starts much deeper than that. It starts mentally. Before the body becomes exhausted, the mind begins carrying stress, pressure, isolation, emotional fatigue, and silent struggles no one else sees. And if ignored long enough, mental exhaustion slowly affect the motivation, the performance, the relationship, decision making, and even the safety on board. Today, we will discuss why burnout at sea starts mentally, how it develops, and what officers and crew can do to protect mental well-being on board. Let's start with what is burnout. Burnout is more than simply feeling tired. It is a state of emotional exhaustion, mental fatigue, and loss of motivation caused by prolonged stress. At sea, burnout can happen gradually. Crew members may begin the feeling of emotionally drained, disconnected, unmotivated, or mentally overwhelmed. And because many of the seafarers are trained to stay strong and silent, burnout often goes unnoticed until it becomes serious. Now let's talk about the mental pressure of life at sea. Life at sea places a unique psychological pressure on the seafarers. Unlike the shore-based work, crew members live and work in the same environment for several months. Many will experience homesickness, loneliness, repetitive routines, and emotional isolation. Officers also carry the pressures of safety, navigation, cargo operations, maintenance, the inspections from the third parties or even from the company itself, and the crew management. Over time, constant pressures affect the mental energy. Burnout starts in the mind before the body. Burnout usually begins mentally before physical symptoms appear. Early warning signs may include constant stress, irritability, emotional numbness, frustration, and overthinking. Some crew members stop enjoying their work. Others become silent, disconnected, or emotionally withdrawn. These signs are often ignored because many believe burnout only means physical exhaustion. But mental fatigue often comes first. Let's talk about emotional suppression on board. One major issue on board is emotional suppression. Many of the seafarers avoid talking about stress, anxiety, loneliness, or emotional struggles. Some fear judgment, appearing to be weak, or affecting their career. As a result, emotions remain bottled inside. And over time, unexpressed emotional pressure slowly contributes to burnout. Leadership plays a major role in mental well-being at sea. Toxic leadership can increase burnout through constant pressure, disrespect, poor communications, and fear-based management. On the other hand, supportive leadership creates trust, teamwork, emotional safety, and healthier morale. A respectful officer can reduce stress significantly on board. Now let's talk about how burnouts affect the safety on board. Burnout is not only a personal issue, it is also a safety issue. Mental fatigue affects concentration, awareness, communications, and decision making. Tired minds make more mistakes. At sea, even small human errors can lead to accidents, injuries, cargo damage, or navigational incidents. Protecting mental health also protects operational safety on board. Shipboard culture greatly affects mental well-being. When crews support each other, stress becomes easier to manage. Simple actions matter. Checking on a crew member, listening to each other, encouraging teamwork, and treating people with respect. Positive culture creates emotional resilience on board. Officers and senior crew members should recognize warning signs early. Signs of burnout may include withdrawal from the social interactions, irritability, lack of focus, emotional detachment, or repeated mistakes. Sometimes the quietest crew members may be struggling the most. Awareness can prevent burnout from becoming severe. Let us remember and put it in our mind that mental health is not weakness. In many workplaces, especially at sea, mental struggles are still misunderstood. Some people believe asking for support is weakness, but mental health is part of human health. Recognizing stress and seeking support shows awareness, not weakness. Strong crew members are built when people feel psychologically safe on board. So what helps prevent burnouts? Preventing burnouts requires both personal and organizational effort. Important factors include proper rest, healthy communications, emotional support, teamwork, and opportunities for recovery. Even small moments of connection like laughter, conversations, or encouragement can improve the morale on board. Modern maritime leadership is changing. Today, good leadership is no longer only about operations and authority. It also includes emotional intelligence, empathy, crew welfare, and mental health awareness. The best officers understand taking care of people improves both morale and performance. Burnout rarely happens suddenly. It develops gradually through stress, emotional fatigue, and mental pressures. Awareness is important because mental health affects everyone on board, regardless of rank. And often, the environment created by leadership determines whether stress becomes manageable or overwhelming. To conclude, burnout at sea is not only physical exhaustion. It often begins mentally through stress, emotional pressure, isolation, and prolonged fatigue. And when mental well-being is ignored, both people and safety are affected. The maritime industry must continue building healthier leadership, support culture, and greater mental health awareness on board. Because protecting mental health means protecting the people who keep the ships moving around the world. Remember, take care of your people, and your people will take care of the mission.